What's up guys? So today I'm going to show you a little trick that has to do with using text inside of a web browser. I'm really going to show you how to use, or I should say make responsive text sizes. So you're probably going to want to use these with media queries, and they're probably not going to be used too often. However, it's a nice little trick to know, and I think it does look really cool when it's used in the proper way. So let's go ahead and jump into this video, but before we do that, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if it helps you, hit that subscribe button so that I can keep bringing you guys these videos. Alright, let's go ahead and check it out. Alright guys, so I've got this project set up right here, and it's very simple. It's just a wrapper with an H1, and let me pop up the code real quick and I'll show you. So I've got this hero wrapper with an H1 tag, and that's just got some text in it, so maybe you're not going to have that much text in it. I'll delete a little bit. So if we come over here and we look at this, you can see that when I shrink the width of the browser, that the text stays exactly the same, and it's still super massive, so it kind of loses everything that we had there. Now everything's on one line, which we do not want. So one of the things that you might want to do on some parts of a design or whatever is have this section that you design, because maybe you have the text in a specific layout, or you're trying to do something a little different. You might want to have this stay exactly the same. Imagine if this entire box, this entire window here, stayed the same design relative to the width of the screen. So I'm going to show you how to change that so that when you shrink the width of your browser, the text adjusts with you. So let's jump over to the code and jump into the Sass for it. So this is the styles that we have for the font. So it's just the font size is 96 pixels. The line height is 96 pixels times 1.25. And then we've got some margin and colors and everything. And the max width is just to, limit how far that the sentence will stretch. So anyways, to change this so that it adjusts in size relative to the browser width or the window width, it's actually very simple. So all we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to change this to be viewport widths. So we can't simply do that because then the text is going to be that massive. So I'm going to turn this down to 5. And then I'm also going to update the line height to be the same measurement here. So it's going to be 5 viewport widths, and then it's going to be times 1.25 to get the line height. So now we got this. It looks exactly the same as it did before. And if you scale down the width of the browser, watch what happens. It stays there relative to the width of the browser. Now, I love that. Now, when you get down to mobile sizes, this may be too small, so you may end up having media queries and break it and just adjust maybe this here so that when it's on a smaller size, I don't know, maybe it's 10 viewport widths, and in which case it would still scale, but you would have a couple breakpoints throughout. And I don't know, I like it. I think it's a really cool thing. It's not going to work all the time. And in fact, I can't imagine this being used a whole ton. But if you do find a good spot to have responsive text, I think it would be in headers. I've used this once already. It just works really well and it's really smooth. One thing to just keep in mind though is make sure you don't have a transition on this, because if you do have a transition on this, when the browser window is moving and scaling, then it's going to do this kind of jolty thing, and you'll have text randomly wrap or just move for no reason. See how that just glitches and freaks out. So anyways, just make sure you don't have any sort of transition on it, and that should be very smooth. Alright guys, so that's all you need to create some responsive text sizes. Now keep in mind you're probably going to use this with some media queries, because while it scales down and it looks large on desktop, it can start to look quite small on mobile. So you're probably going to want at least a breaking point or maybe two in there to keep the font size large, but still scale down with the browser. So if this video helped you, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and if you like the content on this channel, head on over to my Patreon account at patreon.com/ZacharyRNewton, where you can help support this channel and help me create better videos every week. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.